Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new product review, and this time I want to share with you the Angel's Blade. This is the second part on the Black Crusade, and it was launched just 1 week after the Traitor's Hate. So this is just the counterpart book to the Traitor's Hate, and here we have now the Angel's Blade. I bought because I really like the fluff. I really like to read that. First of all, I will say that the cover is very nice, and it's very dynamic, the pose of the chaplain here on the. It's almost looking like it's not an armor, it's more like a suit. But yeah, let's go to what's inside of the book. The format is very similar to the Traitor's Hate. There is, well, of course, we have very nice pieces of art. And we have here the Blood Angels fighting against the Chaos, against the 13th Crusade, against the Black Crusade of the Chaos. So here we have the introduction, and we start with all the fluff, and there is quite a lot of fluff here, as it was in the book of the Traitor's Hate. Here we have, this is the two covers, Karen the Traitor against this chaplain. Here we have, you see really the pieces of art I really love. We also have these amazing showcases of the Blood Angels army. Let me move this to avoid the light reflections. So as you can see, also we have explanation about the Death Company organization. So here we have how it's the chaplain died on and how it is organized. We have also these color schemes, and yeah, very schematics. Then we have the fluff and the different battles that happen. Remember that at the end of the Traitor's Hate we have the fight between the Chaos and the Blood Angels, and here it continues. So you see really very nice showcases, and here we have all the different fluff. I did not have time to read all this, of course, yet, but here you have, and we are going to have, of course, the formation for all what we see here. We have here the mighty of the Blood Angels, the Salt Squads, the Terminators, and the Sanguinar Guard. So we have now the forces of the first. This is the first company. So it's nice to have all this fluff here, and if you like Blood Angels, I think this is almost a must to have. There is a lot of information complementing what we have on the codex. Then we have again the fight. Okay, I go fast. Just another very nice piece of art. So we see that all this continues. So then we have another organization of the second company. I missed here one. Okay. Again, the iconography. So really very nice. I think it's a very interesting book. I'm not fan of the Blood Angels, but I'm really enjoying that. And here we have a big mega battle between the Empire and the Chaos forces. We have Blood Angels, we have Skiteria, Cool Mechanicus, and then we have the Wall Eaters, the Black Legion, and then we have the casualties and all this type of stuff. Here we have the last part of the battle. I have to say I did not have time to read all the rules. So then we go to the rules. So the rules to all the fluff. We go to the rules. The first thing what we see is that we have the new options for the vehicles to be able to make squads, as is happening with the Space Marines. So we can make no formations of Vindicators, Whirlwind, Land Speeders. Well, and Land Speeders have not formations have the new special rule that is anti-grav. While this unit includes 3 Land Speeders, it can move additional 6 inches in flat out. So we have the special rules that we have, and then we also have for the Baal Predator, we have the formation option. And then we have The new detachment for the Blood Angels is called Angel's Blade Strike Force, and here we have there are three command formations. That is the Golden Host, the leaders of the Angelic Host, and the Chapter Ancients. The first one is a Sanguinor commander, is Danter, plus 2 to 5 sanguinary ward, and we are going to see that this have a formation, so see here we are going to see this. Then we have the leaders of the Angelic Host, that is one of the following, can be a Terminator Captain, Captain Tico, Librarian, Mephisto, Sanguinary Priest, a Brother, Corbulo, and then you can have one command squad and one 0 to 1 Storm Raven Gunship. We have the Chapter Ancients, we are going to see this later on. We have the Battle Demi Company, we are going to see this later on. Or the only ones that we have all these ones, also the Archangel's Demi Company, we are going to see them later. You see they have the page. The only ones that they don't have formation later is the Rapid Assault Force, 1 to 3 units choosing from any combination of the following, that is Assault Squad, Bike, Attack Vehicle, and Speeder, and then we have the Fire Support Force, that is the one with the heavy support, so Devastator Squad, Vindicator, or Whirlwind. What this, of course you have to have one core and one auxiliary mandatory. The restrictions, the detachment must include at least one core choice and one auxiliary, as I said. It might include up to 5 and the other one. So then no more additional restrictions on what I said. The Angel's Virtue, if your primary detachment, you can reroll the result when rolling on the Warlord traits, as usual. In a turn which a model from this detachment charges into combat, the model adds 1 to the initiative characteristic until the end of the soul phase. This is quite good. It's supposed that the Blood Angels, they want to go into the close combat. A model that has made a disordered charge that turn, that not receive this benefit from the so but it's quite a good. And then we have the Sons of Sanguinus. Any unit from this detachment that is reduced to half of the starting number of models, rounding fractions down, immediately gains Zealot special rule. For example, a unit that started the battle with 5 models receive the Zealot once they have been reduced to 1 or 2 models. So it's quite not bad rules. Here we have now the Terminator Captain on Terminator Armor. So the Terminator, is the Terminator Captain, so have all on Terminator Armor. Then we have Death Company Chaplain here. Terminator Captain is just, it's nothing really super special. And the Death Company Chaplain is equipped with Inferno Pistol, Conceal Cannon, Jump Pack, Frag Grenades, Rosarius, have Furious Charge, Independent Character, and Zealot, and also have the Rights of the Blood. In the turn in which the Death Company Chaplain charges into combat, the Death Company Marines in his unit reroll failed wounds in a short phase. So it's quite similar to what they used to have, and it's a close combat guy with 2 wounds. So it's 125 points. It goes. You can put him the jump pack. So you see. No, the jump pack is included, so 125 points with jump pack. You have to take into account that is a booster for your Death Company. Then we have the Assault Squad. I guess here they put it again to put the new weapons that we have seen. So the Assault Squad is costing 70 points. It's equipped with ball pistol, chainsaw, frag, and crack grenades. And they have additional No Fear, Combat Squads, and Furious Charge. They may include up to 5 additional Marines for 14 points. The entire squad may take jump packs for 3 points. And up to Space Marines may replace the ball pistols with one of the following. So you can replace 2 with the Flamer, Meltagun, Hand Flamer, or Plasma Gun, Inferno Pistol, or Plasma Pistol. And is 5, 10, and 15 points. For every 5 models in the unit, one model may replace his ball pistol and chainsaw by and this is what was missing by the eviscerator. So now you have almost same weights that the normal marines have, and then we have the devastator. And the big difference in the Devastator is that they have the grab amp, so also you have grab weapons with the Devastator squads. I don't think they have changed a lot more. And then we go to the formations, and here is where we have the real juice of the book, I guess, in terms of rule. So I will say, if you are interested in the rules, but the fluff for me it's also quite interesting part. So we have the Battle Demi Company. It's the one we have the Demi Company almost for all the main chapters. The formation is composed by one chaplain or captain, one command squad, only if captain is taken, but you have to take one if you have the captain. So this is new. It's not normally it's optional in the other battle companies. Then we have one of the next assault squad, bike squad, attack bike, or land speeder, so you have to take one fast attack, one devastator squad, one dreadnought, and one furioso, only if the chaplain is taking. So if you take the chaplain, you have to take a furioso. If you take the captain, you have to take the command squad. So there is some more obligations than in other demi companies. And what are the special rules is that if this formation is your primary detachment, you can reroll. So this is normally, you also have the reroll on the warlord trait, and then you have the red thirst in a turn that in which a model from this unit, from this formation, charge into combat. The model adds 1 to the initiative characteristic until the end of the assault phase. A model that made a result, so it's the same. So really, they don't take additional benefits. They don't take additional benefits. They have the same two main rules that here. So not really benefits on the Battle Demi Company if you also play the detachment. If you want to play only the Demi Company with the detachment, you have almost the same benefits as the detachment. Then we have the Archangel's Orbital Intervention Force. This is the Terminator Intervention Force, and you have to take 3 units of Terminators. Can be any combination between Assault Terminators or normal Terminators, Tactical Terminators. Swift deployment. All units in this formation must be held back in Deep Strike Reserve. When making reserve rolls, make a single roll for the entire formation or successful reserve roll. All the units in this formation arrive from Deep Strike. Then we have Orbital Intervention. Terminator squads in this formation can shoot twice on the turn that they arrive from Deep Strike. The second round of shooting does not need to target the same enemy unit. A Terminator Assault squad in this formation can instead charge the turn they arrive from Deep Strike Reserve, but always count as making disordered charge when they do so. So really, this is a really boost for the Terminators, and I will say it's a really boost for the Assault Terminators. So if you are into the Assault Terminators, I think this is really a nice formation. Then we have the Archangel's Demi Company, and then just let me check one thing. So the Archangel's Demi Company is the other one that is the other obligatory. So you can have this is the one core, and this is the other core. This was one of the auxiliary formations, if I'm not wrong, or one of the, let me check. No, this was one of the auxiliary formations. So now we go to the other core formation from the detachment. This is composed by a Terminator captain, 2 Furiosos dreadnoughts, and 5 chosen from the next list. Terminator squad, Terminator Assault squad, Vanguard veteran squad, and Stengar veteran squad. What they have Stubborn. They have Elite Strike Force. Make reserve rolls for units in this formation from first turn, so that you can do null deployment if you want with this formation. You can reroll failed reserve rolls for units in this formation with the Deep Strike special rule. In addition, units on this formation arriving from Deep Strike Reserve scatter D6 less than normal D6. So it's normally D6 rather than 2D6. Okay, and then we have the Angel's Virtue. If this formation is chosen as your primary detachment, you can reroll the results when rolling the warlord traits. So I will say this is combining for me better with the detachment. It's a big formation, but it's not as big as the previous one. I guess you want to put most likely the Furious. I don't know by heart, but I think they can go with drop pods. And you can put some Terminators and then try to deep strike them. So it's competing a little bit with for me, with Archangel's Orbital Intervention 4. I think the rules here are more interesting, but on top of this, you will have also the +1 initiative. Then we have all of them can deep strike, so you can also use, not all of them, but you can also use the Vanguard. The only ones that cannot deep strike are the Vanguard. Then we have the 10th Company Ambush Force. This is a typical Scout formation that is composed by 3 to 5 units of Scout or Scout bikes. And the Scout bikes squads in this formation must be equipped with the cluster mines. We have two. And then the rules they have is that each unit from this formation that deploys using infield with a special rule and does not have the stealth special rule is concealed. A concealed unit has the stealth special rule until it moves, run turbo boost charges of 4 bucks, at which point it immediately loses the stealth special rule for the rest of the battle, and during the first game turn all units from this formation have the precision shots special rule. So not bad, not good. If you like scouts, are very cheap, so you can make a very cheap formation for here. It's a cheap auxiliary if you want it, but I think there are more interesting things what I can see in this book. Then we have the Death Company Strike Force. It's composed by the Death Company Chaplain, 3 Death Company squads, and 1 to 3 Death Company Defenders. And the restrictions are any Death Company squad in this formation can take a Stormraven gunship as a dedicated transport. So any company squad in this formation can take. So you can take a Stormraven gun. You are not. It's not obligatory. I don't know why they put it as restrictions. But any they say any Death Company squad in this formation can take. So they can take it if they want it. A Stormraven gunship. And the special rule they have is the Black Rage. All models in Death Company squads from this formation, and all Death Company defenders from this formation add 1 to the attack characteristic, whilst they are within 12 inches of the Death Company Chaplain. So it's an additional booster to the Death Company together with the Death Chaplain. So here I have the Death Company Chaplain. So really the Death Company Chaplain is adding more and more value to the Death Company. Sorry that I'm losing my voice. Then we have the Golden Host. Of course, this is the Sanguinary Guard, and is composed by Dante and 2 to 5 Sanguinary Guard. And remember that these are allied, so we can use any of the formation also with any other army of the Imperial forces. So we have the rules Airborne Assault. From your second turn, you can choose the turn in which the units from this formation arrive, so you don't need to roll for reserves. All units in this formation must arrive on the same turn, and all must deep strike onto the battlefield. You can reroll the scatter dice when units from this formation arrive from deep strike reserve, and units in this formation can charge on the turn they arrive from reserve. So this is making them really scary, but always count as making this of the charge when they do so. Anyway, I think this is making them quite scary. I think they are very expensive, but I'm thinking if you land there with the Sanguinor or Comandante Dante, so before I read it wrong, so you can use Sanguinor or Comandante Dante as the character here. If you really land with Dante and all his bodyguard, you can make really damage at the vanguard of your enemy. course, there are armies that have good defense against that, like Tau, but it's quite a strong formation. I have to count the points, they are quite expensive, but having 2 plus armor save assaulting you the first turn looks quite scary, I have to say. Then we have the chapter ancients. As you can see, these are the dreadnoughts, and it's composed by 3 to 5 units chosen from the next Librarian Dreadnought, Dreadnought or Furioso Dreadnought, and what they have is a well-timed blow. Once per battle at the start of any Blood Angel's turn, the Dreadnoughts in this formation can deliver a well-timed blow upon the foe. When they do so, instead of moving in the movement phase, they can either shoot as if they were in the shooting phase, or pile in and fight as if they were in the fight subphase. Different vendors can carry different actions if desired, so some might move, some shoot, and some might fight. Vendors that shoot or fight can do again later in the same turn. So this is really an interesting one. If you have shooting dreadnoughts, you have one turn for additional shooting. I know dreadnoughts are quite easy to kill, but well, it's never bad. I don't think it's not a bad rule. It's just once per battle, but the problem is that the dreadnoughts are not very strong today. And then we have the Storm Raven Squadron, and it's composed by 2 to 4 Storm Raven gunships, and they have a couple. They have a rule here that is the Annihilation Strike. Once per battle, at the start of any of your turns, you can pick an enemy anywhere on the battlefield to be target of the Annihilation Strike. When you do so, any Storm Raven gunships from this formation that are within 72 inches of the target unit and have line of sight to the target must fire all the remaining Storm Strike missiles at it. Conduct attacks as if they were being carried out in the shooting phase. Not all attacks can be made by the Storm Raven gunships as part of the Annihilation Strike. The Storm Raven gunships can shoot again in the shooting phase of the same turn using the weapons they have remaining and not counting the Storm Strike missiles they use again in the number of attacks that they made in that turn. So really you have an additional turn just to shoot your missiles to objective, and then you keep going on the shooting phase with any other objective. So it's not bad. I guess you will not put more than 2 Storm Ravens on this case. And the last one we have is the Lucifer Armor Task Force. Yeah, well, the typical with the Tank Marine, and of course it's a Tank Marine, and then we have 3 to 5 units chosen from any combination of Baal, Predator, and Predator, and then you have 1 to 3 units chosen between Land Rider Crusader, or Land Rider Redeemer. So you will have at least 3 units of Predators, so there's a lot of Predators, so minimum with 3, you would take 3 units of 1, and then you will need at least 1 Land Rider. It's quite a lot of points. And then they will have a Scout, special rule, not amazing, and all the Predators and Land Riders in this formation have overcharged engines and not additional cost points. This means that all vehicles in the Lucifer Armored Task Force have fast unit type as described in the Warhammer 40k. I'm not fan of putting all this amount of spacemen in vehicles, but if you like vehicles, it gives a lot of mobility. I think there are other things that are better. And then we have a little bit of, we have the new war gear, we have the Armorium Sherab, that is the new thing from the Devastators. We have the Glab Amp. We have here now the Hammer of Baal. This is a weapon that is extracted by 2 AP2 melee conclusive mastercraft specialist weapon and wielding. And then here they explain the new Sicana Librarius, the new Psyker powers that were launched as well with the Angels of Death. And here we have we have again, these are the same powers that were launched with the Angels of Death, and then we have the Librarius Technomancy. I will not go to that because I just reviewed them in the past. And at the end we have also new missions if we want to play something more. Yeah, these are missions related to more or less they want to represent what was the fluff about. And then we have Forces of the Death Company. We have Death Company special rules. And here we have a new special rule for the Death Company. Okay. And we have the Doomed Sons of Sanguinus, that is the Lost Brotherhood Strike Force, that is Death Company. So we can play, if we want, with the Death Company detachment. So if we play the Death Company special rules, so strike forces drawn from the Death Company are slightly different from those normal fielded from the Blood Angels. If you use Death Company Strike Force or a Lost Brotherhood Strike Force, the following supplemental rules applies to all the units they contain. So this goes to the rules of the Lost Brotherhood Strike Force or the Death Company Strike Force. So Death Company squads can take Storm Raven gunships as dedicated transports. Okay. Any unit from the Death Company Strike Force or a Lost Brotherhood Strike Force that can select relics of Baal can select an item from the relics of the Lost list presented opposite, so you have a new list of relics. And the Warlord traits, you have new Warlord traits. Okay. So, and then we have here a new formation. We have seen some, so the thing is that the Death Company Strike Force is the core of the formation and the rules they have. And you need one command, so you need to take 1 to 3 of the next, that it is Astorat, Lemartes or Death Company Chaplain. Okay. You need to take 1 core and the auxiliary are not mandatory, so in that case these are the mandatory things. What you have is, again, you can reroll on the Warlord trait in a turn in which the model from this detachment, so then they have the Red Thirst, they also have the +1 to initiative, and unleash upon the foe immediately after setting up a unit in this detachment during the deployment. You can move the unit 6 inches as they were making a move in the movement phase. And the unit cannot run. Units that arrive from the reserve do not receive this bonus. So you have an additional movement, so they represent that they are really wanting to go to the enemy. And here we have the Warlord trait. What are the new Warlord traits? I will not go into detail, but we will have new Warlord traits and we have new relics of the host. I think the most interesting are the formations. We have now 2 new detachments, more in 40k. They are a new Blood Angel detachment, and we have the Death Company detachment, plus all the formations that are in this book. It's another additional, I think it's here we have a nice formations for the Blood Angels. I don't know if they will put them at the same level of the Space Marines, but you have things that you can combine them with other armies. I think they have some interesting choices here that you can compare with other armies. I still think the Demi Company of the Space Marines are very strong, and the Demi Company of the White Scars are very strong. They have very interesting special rules, and what I'm missing here is the Objective Secure special rule that they don't have. So that's all for now. Let me know what do you think. This is the review on the Angel's Blade. This is what you find in this book. I hope you find this video interesting. Please let me know what do you think. Share, comment. And yeah, and if you want to support me further, you also can support me in Patreon. As usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.